So, I know that when we're working with moms and babies, we've now amassed a lot of resources and skills that we can teach families, that we can teach moms and babies, that we can even work with moms prenatally, because we know that if you support a mother, that can really support the baby. But so what happens if you get into it and you stumble across some of this data and you realize that you had a suboptimal experience, that you can see patterns of dysregulation in your children, then what do you do?
Well, it boils down to everything is relationship. Children need love, obviously, but love isn't enough. Children need safety from overstimulation, they need protection, and they need accurate reflection, especially accurate reflection of their feelings. So one of the main things that parents can do is get comfortable with their own emotions and their own feelings and start to name them, really talk through things with their partner, and begin to model that for their children. Really help children be developing good emotional language and good awareness of their own feelings. If there's significant issues, then getting someone to help them who knows how to repattern early experiences in children, playing what we call protection games, doing birth games. For example, now about 30% of American babies are cesarean born. If you're born by cesarean, that means you didn't get to complete that biological imperative, that physical sequence of pushing out of the birth canal. So often cesarean-born children can be not very grounded in their legs, and it can be a wonderful thing for them to practice squeezing through tight places, pushing with their legs, bicycling with their legs, having their legs and their lower body really massaged. So there's a lot of things that we can do with younger children to help them repattern those early experiences and help them come more into themselves. And the most important thing is having an empathetic, kind, loving relationship with their parent, who also is really able to set firm boundaries around behavior without being punitive. And that's going to really help heal children.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. I know that you teach a lot of ways that we can do this, through games and through puppets and all kinds of things like that. So it's good resources for parents too. But what if you're then grown up and then you look at this interview or you read some of these books and you think, well, my childhood was not really great, and maybe I was born cesarean section, or I had a difficult birth, or other losses that happen in childhood, then what do you do? Then what kind of things can you seek out?
Right. Well, again, it all comes down to relationship. These difficult experiences all happen in relationship. They happen in our families, and it takes relationship to help heal those parts of ourselves that didn't get what they needed in relationship early on. And that can happen in a marriage where our partner is really able to attend to us, care about what we're feeling, help us express our feeling, and really meet us and come towards us when we're distressed. It can happen in therapeutic relationships where you actually go to a counselor. And again, to heal these really early places, it has to be somatic. It has to be body-based. You can't talk your way through these places and really heal them. And then there are small group workshops like I do, Birthing Yourself process workshops, where we create a safe, nurturing environment so a person can go back to those spaces and repattern them, and then bring that new understanding into their current relationship or relationships.
It sounds certainly very complete. Well, can you give me an example of an adult and maybe you got permission to talk about their experience, or even your own experience, or I can talk about mine.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of a woman in her mid-30s who came to a Birthing Yourself process workshop, and she has never been able to sustain a long-term romantic relationship. She had a number of physical symptoms, including really excruciating TMJ and often migraines that really interfered with her life. And in that first process workshop, she was able to do a birth repatterning experience and was actually able to push away the forceps instead of, because she was born by forceps, instead of having the forceps come onto her head. And she was amazed that she has not had any problems with TMJ since that time, which is now about 4 years ago.
Right.
And that had been something that was part of her everyday life, and migraines part of her life at least once a month. So she became really interested in the work and decided to keep going. And she had a number of addiction issues, food issues that she decided to work with. And her mother was really lovely and forthcoming and was able to share with her once she did an experience where in the workshop she experienced being really drugged and out of it and not able to orient in her body. And she talked to her mother about this experience, and her mother was able to tell her that she had been a really impossible, irritable baby, and their pediatrician had prescribed Valium for her as a baby from the time she was about 3 weeks old until she was about 6 weeks old. And that was the experience that she touched into in her body.
Right.
And she had a lot of issues staying grounded and staying present, both with herself and in relationship. So she worked on that aspect, and it's wonderful to say that she is getting married this summer, and
That's good news.
has
a relationship.
Has a relationship, and has managed to work with a lot of her food issues because Valium really affected her digestive tract. And as she was able to work through that experience, she was able to come into a healthier relationship with food. So, we could sit here all day and talk about all these wonderful examples about our own healing or
what we've
healing
witnessed,
of other people, for sure.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different kinds of patterns associated with all kinds of experiences. So, there can be a healing. It's true. It's never too late, just like you said.
It's never too late to really work with these early places with support, with someone who is skilled and gentle and slow, and to resolve these early issues, and that helps us come more fully into our everyday life. Whether we're an adult who happens to be parenting children, whether we're a single person, or whether we're in a couple relationship, working on these early patterns supports us to be in good relationship with other people.